guys, welcome to another episode of our drift missile build. Today, in this video, actually might be a multi-part video because it might be pretty long. I don't know, we'll find out. But we're going to be finally installing upgraded cams in the 1JZ here. And we're also going to be replacing the valve stem seals, and we're going to be powder coating these cam gears green because I don't want to spend a lot of money on aftermarket ones because I don't even know how to adjust it. They just look cool, so I'm just going to make mine look cool. So first things first, we're just going to take everything off, and then we'll get some Brian Crowder 264 cams in here, and it won't sound any different because they're not really that aggressive, but it should make really good power.
You got it? Look at damn! Cams is pretty! Your cams are rusty.
Really?
Yeah, they got rusty spots.
Radiator hose.
Dicks. If you were worried about the alternator,
There's some stuff in there.
Okay guys, so before we actually get ready and tear anything apart, we want to make sure that we have the crank lined up, the dash right here at 0, and then there's 2 notches in each of these cams gears that go directly up in the air. That way everything's a complete top dead center. When we tear it apart, we'll put it back together the exact same way.
Okay, so it makes sense while you're doing this just through the timing belt. So we are going to do the timing belt. And to do it, you have to take off the crank pulley. So we did it off camera because we were making a lot of like vagina noises and stuff, but we got this it's a 22mm socket, and then one of my favorite things I ever salvaged off this car right here, this is an intake pipe off of the twins that I turned into a leverage bar. So we put it on here and had Moser on the brakes, and I guess we need him on the brakes again. And we're loosening this bolt here so we can take off the crank pulley, so we can move the front cover, so we can remove the timing belt. Oh no. And this bolt should be off in about 3 weeks, so we'll come back when it's off.
3 years later. 3 weeks later. Took so long to get it off. It's warm outside. Freddy took his jacket off.
Yep. About to put my Speedo on.
Oh yeah!
Alright, so we crossed the one hurdle of getting this bolt off. Now the next hurdle is getting the pulley off, which we might need a pulley puller. Alright, so unfortunately we couldn't get the camera down here because coolant is leaking and we didn't want to damage the camera, but right now I'm loosening 2 bolts on the timing belt tensioner, and I stuck this paper clip in there to keep it from popping out. So you need to put this paper clip in there, and I'm just going to loosen these bolts a little bit so that'll relieve some tension on the timing belt so we can remove the timing belt from the cam gears.
So what we're doing here is we're gonna break loose the bolts that hold these cam gears in so we can get ready and take these cams off, put new cams on.
And powder coat the cam gears.
And do all sorts of fun stuff.
Let me assume my position.
Are you gonna put that up your butt?
Alright, so we loosened up the tensioner a little bit. We loosened the bolts on the bottom of it. We did not remove the tensioner. Whether that's right or wrong, that's what we did. And we're replacing this belt, so we're not too worried about damaging it. So we're just gonna try to get the belt off of these pulleys. There you go.
Sweet deal.
And now that we have this belt off and we get the pulleys off, we have to remove these two bolts on the backing plate. And we can't remove the crank pulley at this time because we don't have a pulley puller at this very moment. How is this still leaking? Oh my God!
Oh, we even bagged it up.
Jesus, it needs double bagged. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna shove some towels in between the belt and the timing cover so when we remove these two bolts holding this backing plate on, they don't fall down. And then we're gonna take the cams off, and once we get this all disassembled, we're gonna call it a day, come back another time with a pulley puller and remove the bottom timing cover, and then we'll actually change the timing belt. And now those are going to my house to get powder coated green! Yeah! We're gonna double bag this, put some towels down here so these bolts don't fall down in there, take this off, take the cams off, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Remember kids, you always gotta double bag it.
No glove, no love. This is absolutely ridiculous though. We drained the coolant in this thing and it just won't stop leaking coolant.
And if you pay attention, we got the front end up in the air. That is the absolute highest point of the whole entire cooling system. And it's just steady running out. I give it another 3 minutes and it's gonna leak again.
Less than that.
Probably leaking already.
So this is how you rig up your hose.
You gotta keep your hose in line.
You gotta put a glove on your hose.
And
yep. Okay, so now,
like Freddy said, we're gonna try and stuff a bunch of paper towels down in those holes. That way the screws don't fall down in there. Because if this falls down in there, it'd be no good. Because it would get caught in like your gear and stuff. And that won't be good.
That won't be good. That won't be good. Okay. So now we can take off this cover.
Now we are.
I also forgot to mention we're also adding on a clear timing cover for this, so that'll look pretty cool with the green cam gears.
Ooh, really cool.
There's two more. I thought there was only two on here. Yeah, that was nice.
I think earlier in the video you said 4.
Did I?
I thought you did.
I must be drunk.
That could be entirely possible.
See? If I didn't have that towel there, that would have fallen down. Mother trucker.
Would have been catastrophic.
That would have been kaboom by engine. Look at this.
Just look at it.
Just look at it. We could probably powder coat this too.
We should. Powder coat that black.
Powder coat everything!
Powder coat everything! See what it looks like in there without that on. That's what we gotta do. The cams out of here.
Break all them things loose.
Alright, so we're gonna get ready and start breaking all of these loose to get ready to take these cams out. Myself personally, I'm a big fan of taking a piece of cardboard like this, just labeling down what it is you're doing. Front intake, rear exhaust, all of that kind of stuff. And then as you take each one out, you can just stab it right into this cardboard and keep each piece exactly where it needs to be. And then when you go to put it back on, you can put each one in the exact same spot.
From what I know with this JZ, it matters. You have to get these cam caps in the same exact spot, in the same order. And you have to take them off from the outside in. So you're gonna take off that one, and then the one in the back, and then that one, and then that one, that one, that one, that one. You only crack them loose at first, and then you can start to loosen them because you don't want to put awkward pressure on these cams. But I guess it really doesn't matter when you're taking them off because you're replacing these.
It doesn't matter, but it's good practice.
Yes, but certainly when you put these back on, you need to go in this order so you do not...
You gotta do the right torque spec.
So I guess you don't warp or crack or bend the cam or whatever. But we will show you what a good and a bad cam looks like once we get these out.
And then we went through and broke each one loose, like Freddy said, starting from the very outside, working towards the middle. Everyone's cracked loose.
And now you can remove all of them, but you still want to go in the same order, remove them from the outside in.
Now for the moment that you've all been waiting for. At least we've definitely been waiting for it.
Ooh, that's a cam.
That's a cam.
Ooh, it's heavy.
That one's the exhaust. And this one's still stuck on there. Look at the pry bar.
Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire!
Actually, hold on, you grab it quick because my hands are oily.
Now you would probably not do this if you were reusing this cam, but we're not.
Try to get up front. I think it's still holding on up front. Yeah, perfect. And that was the intake.
And now we're gonna show you how to tell if this is a good or a bad camshaft. I'm not sure what would cause a bad camshaft or the symptoms of a bad camshaft, but there's a good way to tell if you have a good or bad camshaft. If you throw your camshaft on the ground and it breaks, that means it was a good camshaft. But if you throw it on the ground and it does not break, it's now a bad camshaft and you can't use it, so you have to replace it. So now we're gonna show you if this was a good or a bad camshaft.
It was good.
Turns out it was a good camshaft, but now it needs replaced anyway.
Alright, so another way to test a cam, other than just throwing it on the ground to see if it's good or bad, is to do your best impression of your favorite ball player up against an I-beam. So it was good, but now it's bad. Okay, so like we said in the process of tearing it apart, we made this little diagram here to be able to stick everything, keep everything on the corresponding sides. And I'll flip it around to where hopefully you can see it. Toyota is actually nice enough to label it. You can see on the intake side, it's like I, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhaust is E, 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole way down. So they make it easier to put back on, but this is just good practice. And then you have everything exactly right here where you want it. And when you get ready to put it back on, sit it next to you and you can just grab piece by piece and go through and do it. It makes it a lot simpler than pulling it out of a bucket and looking to figure out what is what.